my name is Thomas, and today in this video we're going to be talking about masking. Now, what masking does is it's a non-destructive way to edit a photo. For example, if I wanted to cut out this boat and remove all the background, I would have to go to my polygon select tool, go around the boat, whatever, just do it like a rough cutout, for this demonstration. And if I inverted the selection using Control-Shift-I and say did a Control-X cut, you'll see that all I'm left with is the boat. We'll say I did a much better job cutting it out. But say I wanted some of that sky back again. Well, there's no way to bring it back unless I say undid with Control-Z and re-cut out the boat, or put in a second layer. Imagine I redid this. I'll just use Control-J and cut out a new portion of the second image. All of that cutting out would be considered destructive editing because there's no way to add it back without redoing it all. What non-destructive editing does is allows me to bring stuff back. So we'll create a mask using this Add Layer mask. It's the button with the rectangle with the circle cut out of it. You'll go to the layer that you want and we'll click Add Layer Mask. And you'll see that a white image is added next to our original image. Now, what it allows us to do is, say we wanted to cut out this boat again. What we do is we'd go to our brush tool, or we can even make marquees. Say we just did a rough cut of the boat again. Just like that, use Control-Shift-I, to invert the selection. And what we're going to do is we can go Edit and Fill. Make sure you're on the background layer. Make sure this white image is selected. If it's like this, where the outline is around the original image, click the white image and go to Edit, Fill. And you can do foreground color, your background color, or you can do black and white. Now, this is important. Black means that the portion that you selected, that you paint, quote unquote, paint black, if something is painted black, it is removed. If it is white, it's brought back. So if I fill this in with black, you'll see that everything is cut out and we're seeing through to the red layer underneath. So if we get rid of these marks, you'll see that we have our cutout image. Now, the nice thing about this is what makes it non-destructive. If we go back to our mask it layer, what we can do is, say we wanted some of that sky back, or we made a bad selection, or whatever we wanted. What we could do is take our brush, change it to white instead of black. Black cuts out stuff, so if I paint over this, you'll see that stuff is being cut out. But if I change it to white, what I can do is bring it back. I should bring up the flow. I can bring all of this back. And this is the magic part, is that if you made a mistake or change your mind later on in the process, you can fix it without having to restart everything. And the other nice thing is that it works on a spectrum. So if I make this gray, if we make it 50% gray, I can bring back some of the image. So right now we are bringing 50% back of the original image, but we're also seeing 50% through it. It's like as if the image was at 50% transparency, but only for this portion. And we can see in here that we have a little gray area in our thumbnail. Now, if I were to do this as a gradient, bring it back to black to white. So if I did this as a gradient, you can see what it does. See that the gradient is white at the top, black on the bottom, and as we get further and further down the image, it becomes more and more red. Means it's getting more and more transparent. Now, this isn't the only use for mask. Yes, you can use it to cut out images and be able to bring back parts of the image that you wanted. But the other nice thing that it can do is, if we say get rid of this mask, say we just wanted a random rectangle in the sky. Now with the sky selected on our original image, what we can do is go to these adjustment layers, and you can choose any of these, and what it'll do, click Hue and Saturation, what it'll do is create a mask for this effect, for this adjustment layer. So if I start adjusting, let's see, it's a little hard to see, just darken it. You can see that just in that area where I selected, the effect is being applied. You can designate areas where you want the effect to take place, to have effect. This gives you a lot of control. Now you could also do this manually. If I say delete this layer mask, add a new one in, fill with black, see that we get our original image back. And what we can do is just roughly select our boat, and paint it white, or we can even fill it. There we go. Now only the portion of our boat that we selected gets masked. And from there we can go in with a brush and cut out everything that we don't need. Although what you'd probably want to do in this scenario is select the boat, then add the layer effect. So maybe I can just use the quick selection tool, just do a super rough job, yada yada. Don't really need to worry too much about how nice it is, just as long as it's functional. Just about there. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. So we've selected our boat, and what we'll do is we'll go down to the adjustment layer, go to, say, black and white, and now we have a black and white adjustment layer only being applied to our boat, because that's what we've masked out. Again, completely adjustable. So say you wanted to bring back the whole color right here, right in the center bit. What we can do is make sure your mask layer is selected. We want to bring it back using the black brush, because here we've applied it. We want to bring back the color, so we want to remove this effect. We want to remove this adjustment layer. So to remove from a layer, to remove from an adjustment layer, what we'll do is we'll use our black brush. We'll go through and just do a little selection. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect, because the magic of nonlinear, non-destructive editing is that we can go through much finer hand and bring back color. And we can probably select these portions. Go through yada yada yada. This probably wasn't the best image to try and manipulate, but it'll work. So we want to remove that. We want black, and we want our brush. Yeah, this could look a lot better if you spent a little bit more time on it, but I just want you to get the idea of what we're doing. You can also do this with text. So if we get rid of this layer, say we add some text into this guy. It's another tutorial without my name somewhere in it. So Thomas, sure, in that font. So to create a mask, what we'll do is we'll use this font as a guide. So what we'll do is we'll control click the thumbnail for our text layer. We'll see now that we have an outline of our layer. And what we can do is we can go to our background layer and hit the mask layer button. Now what this does is it cuts out everything except what you selected. So as you can see, all we had selected was our letters. If we get rid of those, you'll see that all it kept was the sky. Now you can do this in combination with a lot of things. If, say, you wanted to bring back the boat, what you could do is you could disable the layer mask for a bit, go to your original layer, make a selection of the boat. We'll do our infamous quick and dirty technique. There we go. We can then reapply the layer mask, re-enable, go back to your mask layer, and what we can do is bring it back using the white. So we can make it nice and large, bring back the boat. And there we go. Now we've got our boat. There we have it, our boat on our red background. You can also just export these as a PNG. If you do File, Export, Quick Export as PNG, it'll keep the transparency. So this is a good way to just cut out an image. And if you just want what you cut out, this is a good way to do it. It also keeps your options open if you change your mind and you want more or less. But that'll do it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. You have a good one.